Hello everyone, my name is Caleb Wells. I haven't uploaded on this YouTube channel in 2 years or so. I think the last one I made I shot in my hometown of Kuski, Idaho. Excuse me. And I think it was shot because I was walking around with my kids and we saw some deers wandering around because it's like a small town in Idaho, like 600 people. And we saw some deers, which were not hurt in the film, but we just shot a random clip with the phone. And then I was like, oh, we'll just grab this other shot, which I put a time lapse on, and then walk down an alley and to the funeral home. Not a super uplifting film, but yeah, random weird thing. And then I also uploaded, maybe this is 2 or 3 years ago as well, some films where I was like, or maybe it was longer, I don't know. Where it's going to be like 100 days of X being whatever you're doing for 100 days, and that was going to be 100 days of filmmaking. I think I only got 3 of those days, so I didn't do a whole lot there. And I know this channel's been around for a while, I think 2008. If I looked back on it, I got some of the films from 12 years ago that my brother and I shot in Emmett, Idaho. Another, not as small, but smallish town in Idaho, and I think those were shot on Sony Hi8, I think, or Mini DV, just old random stuff there. And then I've shot random stuff on my iPod Nano, back when like they had a little camera in the iPod Nano, and you could go through and have different effects or filters. And then that was probably like 480. I don't know. That was probably not super high resolution. But there's just a lot of random stuff on this channel, and I've even got like car oil change I shot on my iPhone 4. Is it 10? No. I don't know how many years ago that was. A long time ago. I was like, when did iPhone 4 come out? But basically what I'm saying is this channel is really random, and it's fairly old now, I guess. You know, I think the first thing I uploaded was some of the early stuff, 12 years ago. I did have a YouTube channel once before this one, which has like 3 videos, and it was like back in 2006, and I know those were shot on like mini DV, and they were nothing super awesome. But basically, I want to get back into making films again, or short films, or feature-length films, which, doing some Googling, pulled up Wikipedia. Oh shit, now I'm going to forget the name. But basically in like US and UK, I think, France is a little more strict, and perhaps Italy, I don't remember all. But anyway, the general point, a 40-minute film is considered feature length. And my brother, who actually has his own YouTube channel, but I'll talk to him before I start pointing into YouTube channels and stuff. But he's got a whole bunch of really cool equipment. Like I'm shooting this on my iPhone 12's front-facing camera, so it's nothing super special. But my brother, he's got like I think it's a Sigma FP camera. He's got the new XDR. I don't know if it's new, 2019, newish Apple XDR cinema display, or maybe they don't call it cinema display anymore. He's got that coming. He's got a nice M1 Mac Mini. We have all the technology to make movies, and we're all vaccinated now. Like I'm vaccinated, my brother's vaccinated. Well, my brother will be fully vaccinated soon, and so then we're gonna start hanging out again. We're like, hey, we can hang out. We can make some movies. But obviously, the pandemic and vaccines aren't really the things that have been not holding me back personally for movie making, because I haven't uploaded in years. Basically, I've been growing another YouTube channel, which is focused on iOS development. And I created that channel in like 2017, and now it's like 4,000 some subscribers, but I don't want to like add short films to that channel because its focus is Swift, which is a programming language. But this channel, I was like, that's a channel I have, so why not upload to it? It doesn't really have a focus. Excuse me. I'm not going to edit this. This is going to be like live stream without the live streaming. But it doesn't really have a focus. Like I said, I've had an oil change video, which I think is one of my most viewed videos. And it was pretty basic oil change. Like I'm not a mechanic. I don't know what I'm doing. But in fact, I think I got a comment looking back on that, and it's like, oh, you didn't specify the wrench size. I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't. So it's not super detailed, but anyway, the point is, I want to kind of get back into filmmaking of some sort. But I haven't really even been watching a lot of films or even reading a lot of fiction over the last few years. I've been reading blogs about code, and I've been programming and all that. Even though occasionally I do make cheesy little films with my kids, and that's another YouTube channel I created. And it's random little videos, really short, because it's typically like I have a random idea or one of my kids has a random idea, and they're like, all right, let's shoot it. And we shoot it on the iPhone because it's quick and easy. That I can just shoot, edit, upload all of it right then and there. And we usually make a film within, a few hours, if that. I think our last film was maybe like an hour and a half, and that was including a snack break. We're like, oh, we're hungry. Let's grab snacks. So there's no real structure to them. And I'm going to keep uploading those random things on my kids' channel because they're more kid, friendly, just kind of silly. Which I'm totally fine with silliness. I'm not saying that anything here on this channel is going to be super serious. I don't really know what it's going to be yet. I just know that I want to do something, and I think it'd be fun to actually start hanging out with people again once it's all good, and start making things. So hopefully, my brother, he's the one that I think's been saying like, yeah, let's make feature-length films. I think he wants to make a little longer than I do to start out with. Like for me, I'm lazy, so I'm like, that's why I kind of Googled it and found the minimum requirements for a feature-length film. Right, it's 40 minutes, I believe. So I'm like, oh sweet, if we can make something that's 40 minutes, technically that's feature-length, and that's good enough. And that could change over time because I just want to kind of get into practice. So one of the things I've been doing, because one of the things, even in our earlier films, like if you go back on this channel, you watch, there's a film called June. I think I wrote the script. Maybe Jake, my other brother, and I wrote the script. I don't remember. It's been a long time. But we wrote a script, but we didn't really... It's been a while. I can't remember exactly, but I don't think I had a whole lot of great concepts of like how is a story structured, and all that. So I've been watching, if all of you have like a library and you can get it, it's not all libraries I don't think, but I think libraries and universities, some of them allow access to a streaming platform called Canopy. It has a lot of great films, and the way that I'm set up through my library is I get 15 free watches, so I can watch 15 movies or shows or whatever, episodes, a video in a month. And I haven't really been using that. I'm like, I don't really watch anything. But they also have great courses content on there, which if you're not sure about great courses, they do a lot of courses on topics varying from, history, science, whatever. And those don't count towards your 15 credits, which is awesome. So I've been watching on there. They have one on Screenwriting 101, and I should have probably looked this up before to know who the guy was, but really good. I've been really enjoying it and trying to get some ideas from that. And he talks about plot structure and character and a bunch of things, and he breaks down some popular or well-known scripts and all that, and he even gets into television, which would be interesting because I think it would be fun to make some feature-length movies, but also see if we can make like a YouTube series, like 12 episodes of something. But anywho, this is a really rambly video. I just kind of wanted to get it out there, update any of my subscribers, because I got 2 recently and I don't know why. Like, I guess that's another thing I'm trying to get at, is like who watches or who subscribes to this channel, and why is this channel kind of still exist. But, and kind of an update as well, that I will be switching from this kind of random stuff to, I think, more film oriented. So I want it to be kind of focused somewhat on that topic. So hopefully I'll be working with my brother to work on making feature-length films to upload to not only my channel, but I imagine his channel, and perhaps some of my other brothers to their channels. Don't know. Have to talk to people more. I also want to probably play around with the idea maybe in a year or two to make like a series. I don't know. As well. Maybe not just one-off feature films. Of course, I guess feature films could have like a trilogy or whatever, but anywho. Stuff like that. So 40 minutes in length or longer, hopefully coming in the next couple of months. I'm going to try to make them quickly, because what I want to do in my thought, and I haven't sat down with my brother yet, that'll hopefully be in like a week or two, we're going to sit down and actually talk about movie ideas. And I'd love to have him on the channel and maybe talk about stuff, or direct to his channel. I don't know exactly like the full details of what everyone wants to do. I'm just kind of been excited because my brothers and I have been talking about it, and I'm getting really excited. I'm like, I want to make something. So I just wanted to make this video. But feature-length films, 40 minutes or longer, hopefully coming soon. But I want to make them quickly, because I want to learn. So I'm trying to learn how to write a script right now, like a proper script that's structured hopefully decently well. But I also don't want to, I want to make sure I kind of crank them out, because I think, and this is my opinion, is that the more you do something, the more you learn. And I don't want to be too stuck on one particular thing for too long. I want to like get it done. Then I can look back. I'm like, okay, I see where the problems are. Let's try to fix that in the next one. I kind of switched careers a couple of years ago and became a software developer, and I'm completely self-taught. And the thing that I think helps the most, instead of reading or watching or trying to like consume things that teach you a topic, is really doing things. So like I'll make an app, or I'll make a part of an app, and then I'll throw it away and then recreate it again, or do something like that. So I think the repetition and practice of actually making some films would be really good. Let's see. So yeah, I want to make them quick, so they're probably not going to be great to start out with. For the first script, all I did is I Googled, title generator, because I'm lazy and I can't come up with titles. And I think the title, I found a website, and you just kind of hit refresh, and it throws in random junk. And out of that random junk, I got a kind of, it's not a great title. It's, I think, called Screaming in Technology. So originally I was like, Screaming in Technology could be about a programmer. I know something about that. Let's see, maybe they want to build a social platform, and then we can show like how social platforms are crap, from a person who's on Twitter and YouTube, which I'm guessing, I don't know, YouTube sharing videos, but there's comments. This is a social platform. But anyway, like to show some problems there, right? And then I was like, well, maybe not. Maybe the programmer is concerned about death. I don't know about you, but I think about death relatively frequently, especially over the last, year or so. One thinks about things when you don't keep your mind busy with stuff. But so I was like, okay, well, what if he's scared to death and he wants to build like a way to recreate himself and others using a computer? The more you use a platform and the more information you feed the computer, it can recreate you, right? And so it's gonna be like a sci-fi, but I thought that'd be interesting. And I was like, is it that interesting? I don't know, but I want to finish it. I'm hoping for it to be about 40 minutes. It should be 40 minutes or longer, because I'm trying to go with this feature thing. And yeah, and then after that, I'm just gonna try to figure out some other random idea that I want. But I'm gonna try to start watching more films on the Canopy, use that 15 credits I get. Also, I watched some stuff on YouTube. Like I watched Fargo for the first time 2 days ago. It's a movie from 1996, I think it said. And I've seen it around before. I've heard about it. It's the Coen brothers, and O Brother Where Art Thou, and Raising Arizona, I believe. Great movies. I don't know why I haven't watched Fargo, but I watched it and I really liked it. The YouTube version has ads in it, and they have some terrible dubbing whenever they swear, but still, I thought it was a really good movie. I watched Chinatown last night. First time ever. Really good. Young Nicolas Cage. It's really good, and it's kind of like a detective story set in, I think, the 40s or 30s. From the cars, I think it was more like 40s, perhaps. I don't know. Should have checked the time. But the story is really good. So I'm going to try to start watching films, trying to take things apart, kind of deconstruct them. And I want to start using the story circle concept, where it's like you break down the film into 8 bits, and you start with the character, and then there's like a point of where they no return, kind of where they have to go through like shit and then get back to themselves or back to normal. I'm not. Maybe I'll make a video about that. I know there's other videos about story circle. I didn't find any super good. The best one I actually found was from Adult Swim, where it was Dan Harmon, and he actually broke down an episode, and he actually had 2 story circles, which was kind of, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So he had like the main story circle, and then they drop off Jerry at a daycare, and that's another story circle, but it's like two in the same episode, I believe. I haven't watched a ton of Rick and Morty, so I don't know. But I think I've seen that episode. I was like, that's a good idea too, is like multiple plots from different characters. I don't know. Lots of things to think about. So I think I'm going to use the story circle, and I'm going to be learning from this screenwriting 101 course on Great Courses on Canopy, which I think is actually really good. So long, and now we're at 15 minutes. Okay, this is really rambly, but out of my 80 subscribers, I don't know who watches any of this stuff anyway. I just wanted to upload something and kind of say, this is what's going to happen. 2021, I want to get like a handful of films out this year. We'll see how that goes. And then I also want to help my brothers get a handful of films out, or however many they want. But I think the brother that's got all the equipment, I'll bug them all, and then I'll see if I can use their names. I don't know. I'm probably being a little weird. But I think he wants to put out a lot of films really quick too, because I think he's got a lot of the equipment. He just wants to practice making films and using the camera gear and all that. So basically, if you're subscribed to this channel and you don't want to watch feature-length films, and you don't want to see, I also thought it'd be fun to do my other channel, my popular channel, is tutorials. So I was like, I should do maybe tutorials too, or a little behind the scenes, because I think it's fun when you can share, like if we made some feature films, you're like, oh, this is how we did this, right? Or maybe put out some tutorials on software we're going to use. I have to talk to my brother. I don't know if he's DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut or both. I think he's been liking Final Cut more. I'm using DaVinci Resolve just because it's free. You can pay the $300 and get more features, but I'm going to just learn the free stuff first, and then if I can continue this and make more movies, which I think would be fun, I'll definitely pay the $300 to kind of get, well, definitely. I have to look in and see where I hit my limitations and what does that offer. I imagine it offers some pretty good stuff. Haven't looked into it much. I've used DaVinci Resolve. I don't think I've actually used it to make anything yet. I've played around with it and watched a few tutorials, but DaVinci Resolve does have like this 1,300 page manual. I think I could read through that, test some stuff out, and make some tutorials to share with all of you. But I'm getting 17 minutes. This is really long, and like I said, I'm not going to edit it. So I could have tried to think this through and maybe wrote a script and made this more concise. But basically, going forward, for anyone that's subscribed to the channel and has gotten this far, if you've gotten to the 17 mark and 40-second whatever timestamp, leave a comment, because that's crazy. Basically, I want to start putting out feature films, 40 minutes or longer, possibly series, maybe 20-minute episodes or so, and 12 episodes a season. I don't know. Haven't really thought about that too much, but I think it would be kind of interesting to do a series. And I don't know, thinking about that. I think it'd be interesting to share what I learned with DaVinci Resolve or Final Cut or Blender or screenwriting. I'm like, ooh, this is really good. This is how I would deconstruct a scene or something. I don't know. I want to share how films are made, or at least how myself, my brothers, how we make films. I'm pretty easy. I shoot on, iPods, iPhones, whatever. As long as it's Apple, I guess. And, yeah, that kind of stuff. So I want to make it about movie making and movies themselves. So hopefully this wasn't too long. Try to keep this under 20. And if you watched it, tell me what you think. What kind of films you'd be interested in. Topics, obviously my first one's going to be about technology and questions about death, I guess. I don't want to make them too dramatic or serious. I think I sometimes watch indie. Last time I've seen an indie film and it's super dramatic, and indie it's sometimes it's just. Eh. So I don't want to be too serious. It could be comedy, it could be drama, it could be horror. When I think horror, I think supernatural, I don't know, Call of Cthulhu or witches or I don't know, stuff like that. But anywho, could be just random films, and it could still be a pretty random upload schedule. But I'm gonna try to make sure I upload at least something once a month instead of once every couple of years. But thank you all for watching. If you're interested in these topics, subscribe. If you're not, unsubscribe. Thank you all for subscribing in the first place, and yeah, let me know what you're into, because I guess that's another thing I made this is, well, like, why are people subscribed to this channel? It's really random, and there's not really, I don't know, it's just random. So I'm just curious the channel still exists, but now I'm gonna hopefully do something with it. So thank you all. Subscribe, like, comment, all those YouTubey things, and until next time, stay swifty.